皆さん、英語のそーたです。
And I'm Reilly.
Hey Riley, this is the second time for us to do this online recording. Did you get used to this?
I'm getting used to it. I'm definitely more used to it this time than last time.
Same here. Hopefully I'm getting used to this one too. But one person told me that I sounded a bit nervous last week.
Oh, really?
Did I sound like that?
No, I don't think you sounded nervous. Maybe like uncertain or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't feel I was nervous, but I definitely, I was definitely thinking about lots of things. So I got distracted easily. And even now, I get distracted easily because of my earphones or the connection and the topics to talk about or things like that. So we'll have to get used to this as soon as possible.
Yeah. I think we will.
Yes. Oh, and also the topic for today is about sushi. Do you love to eat sushi?
Yeah, I like sushi.
Oh, what kind of sushi do you love?
I like I guess in Japanese I like katsuo and iwashi. Iwashi is sardine in English, but I don't know how to say katsuo in English.
Katsuo. Yeah, for me, I don't really like expressing or describing the type of fish in English. So later, can you teach me some if possible? But
I can try. I mean, I can. Honestly, it's like most of these fish are. I'm sure there is an English name, but people don't know that fish's name. I don't know. For example, what kampachi is amberjack. Except for sushi, nobody knows what amberjack is. Yeah.
Oh, so even for you, sometimes it's hard to describe.
Because
fish in English.
Yeah, because we don't eat a lot of these fish except sushi.
なるほど。はい、皆さん今回2回目のオンライン収録なんですけれども、ちょっとずつ慣れていけたらなと思うんですが、やっぱり耳にイヤホンついてたり、ライリーの顔が見えなかったり、それと同時にいろんなこと考えないといけなくて、先週は、そうたさん緊張してましたかっていうお声もいただいたんですけど、感覚的にはね、緊張してなかったんですけど、ぎこちなさはあったかもしれないなと思います。なので、今日のものも含め、ちょっと慣れるまでね、ぎこちなさあるかもしれませんが、ライリーと一緒に頑張っていきたいなと思いますので、今回もよろしくお願いします。あとはね、今、お寿司のお話になってましたけど、アメリカ人であるライリーにとっても、英語で魚をなんて表すかわからないものもたくさんあると、日本語でもね、これ魚なんて言うんだろうとかってね、いうことはあると思うんですけど、英語でも同じなんだなと思いました。あと個人的に僕もこれを魚って英語でなんて言うんだろうっていう魚とか虫とか僕英語苦手なんですよね。なので勉強しなきゃと思いつつも、いつもね、これなんて言うんだろうって虫魚、あとお花の名前とか多いので、ちょっとライリーに後で教えてもらおうかなと思ったんですけど、ライリーもわからないものもあるかもしれないって言ってたので、状況に応じて、共有できたらなと思います。So, Riley, are you ready?
Yep.
そうたと
ライリーの台本なし
英会話レッスン
Episode 217.
Okay, what is the topic for episode 217, Riley?
It is conveyor belt sushi.
はい、今回のお題は外国人から見た回転寿司です。最近ね、ちょっと日本では回転寿司系のことで炎上していたりすると思うんですよね。なので、このエピソードを始める前に皆さんにご理解いただきたいのが、このエピソードはその炎上を加熱させるための目的ではないことは、あらかじめ知っておいていただきたいです。というのも、僕1ヶ月ぐらい前にインスタストーリーでね、僕いつも回転寿司行ったらお寿司の醤油のボトルを潔癖症なので拭くんですみたいなのを載せて皆さんと共有してたんですよ。でその時に 回転寿司についてライリーと話してみようってもう1ヶ月ぐらい前から決めてたんですよね。そしたらその後たまたまなんかこうね、回転寿司のお寿司の醤油のことでちょうど炎上してしまって今この流れになってるんですけど、今ね、その炎上してこう的になってる少年の方もすごく今疲弊しちゃってるとか高校を辞めちゃったとかニュースを聞いてみんながこうね寄ってたかって叩くのがちょっとかわいそうだなと思うので、どうかこのエピソードがそういう加熱の目的にならないように聞いていただけたら嬉しいなと思います。So this is a kind of a timely topic now, especially in Japan, because do you know the incident? Can you explain in English? Because I already spoke Japanese a lot.
Yeah, I guess there were some videos of some, I don't know, kids, right? They looked like maybe high school or something like that, who were like licking things in sushi restaurants, like the plates and the like soy sauce bottles and things like that.
Yeah, because our listeners are from other countries too. So
Uh-huh.
I just want you to explain what's going on in Japan now. And yeah, that's what's happening right now. But what I explained was that I don't want to make this episode for the purpose of making that incident, bigger or something. I don't want to criticize that kind of incident because those boys, especially one boy who licked the bottle of the soy sauce, quit high school because he got criticized a lot, and then his family as well. I heard they're you know too stressed out, something like that now. So I don't want to make this episode for making that situation worse.
Okay. Yeah, I also think like I guess we already talked about it, but if people talk about it a lot, then there might be copycats, other people who do the same thing. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think you're right. We shouldn't focus too much on that.
Yes. So I just, mentioned that we want to focus on something positive. OK、早速フレーズなんですけど、licking っていうね、フレーズ、ペロペロってこう舌で舐めるっていう、言葉ですね。Lady, can you start typing?
Yep, I got it.
あとは、copycats って言ってましたけど、こう、真似する猫。つまりもう一人がやったらみんながなんかこう真似して動画をね、アップしたりとか、いろんなコードがこう広がっていくっていうところでね、copycats が出てましたね。あとは、bottles、あるいは bottle で、お寿司のね、その醤油のボトルだったり、あとは潔癖症っていう表現としては、I'm a germphobe. I'm a germphobe.
Okay.
Okay, then so let's get into the main part. So, first of all, you and also Americans, do they or do you love to go to conveyor belt sushi restaurants?
In America.
Both. Can you
Yeah.
focus on anything?
Sure. So I think in America, as far as I know, conveyor belt sushi restaurants are not so popular yet. Most of the time a sushi restaurant is more like a regular restaurant where you order off a menu and somebody brings sushi to your table. Or of course, very expensive ones will have like the sushi bar where the chef gives you the sushi right away. But yeah, I think conveyor belt sushi restaurants are still not so common in America.
Do you have some?
I think there are some, yeah. Maybe in like New York or big cities, but most Americans probably don't go to conveyor belt sushi restaurants.
なるほど。一旦ちょっと訳そうかなと思うんですけど、まず、conveyor belt sushi ってね、こう、当たり前のように今表現出てましたけど、これで回転寿司ですね。他にも、sushi go round とかも言います？ Do you say that?
I've never heard that, but I understand what it means.
Oh,
People
really?
might say it. Yeah.
Then conveyor belt sushi is more common.
Yeah, I think so.
なるほど。なんかこう、回転寿司とかをね、調べると、sushi go around、あと寿司なんとか、もう一個なんかよく見るんですけど、 で、まあ、もう一個が conveyor belt 寿司。で、今、ライリーに聞いたら conveyor belt 寿司が一番よく使うっていうことなので、皆さんもこれで覚えておいていただくといいかなと。コンベアベルトって日本語でも言いますよね。conveyor belt 寿司。で、まあ、回転寿司ですね。で、ライちゃんもそうだし、アメリカの方々は、その回転寿司屋さんに行くの好きなんですかっていう質問からだったんですけど、まずやっぱりアメリカには基本的に回転寿司屋さんってほぼなくて、あったとしても、まあ、どっか大きなところ、大きな都市にあって、かつライちゃんは本当に行ったことがないくらい、基本的にはやっぱりアメリカでは回転寿司屋さんに行くことは少ないと、そもそもないことの方が多いって言ってましたね。で、どういうところに行くのかっていうと、まあ、居酒屋さんのようなものだったり、お寿司屋さんっていう、回転寿司ではないみたいですね。で、まあ、そこで出たのが、お寿司注文したら、right away、すぐにお寿司握って、出してくれるっていう、right away ですぐにって意味ですね。これも打ってくれてると思います。あとは、as far as I know、愛ちゃんが、自分が知ってる範囲内で言うとっていう、as far as I know で、知ってる範囲内で言うとって表せますね。So I want to know more about the sushi restaurants in the States.
Okay.
So sushi bar or sushi restaurant, what are they like? もうちょっと知りたい。アメリカのお寿司屋さんがどんな感じなのか。
Oh yeah. They're probably you've probably heard of like California rolls and things like that, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think more than kind of nigiri, right? Like just fish on rice. It's more common to have like a kind of roll, which is like sometimes can be very elaborate. Like they can have many kinds of fish and avocado and some sauce and some spicy thing and like very just a lot of stuff on one sushi roll. Like I think some California rolls are kind of maybe the most famous, but also fairly simple. There's stuff called like I think a dragon roll. I'm not exactly sure what's on it, but I think maybe salmon and tuna and spicy sauce or something like that. So those are more common in like American sushi restaurants. But I think nowadays maybe uh like nigiri kind of classic sushi is getting more common.
So do Americans make those sushi or Japanese?
Like the people who work in the restaurant,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think both. I mean, I think like if it's I think yeah, I think both. If there are Japanese people, I think they might be in the sushi restaurant. Like they, what can I say? Like there are not a lot of Japanese people in America, to be honest. Um, so probably a lot of those shops just have any kind of people. But of course, like there are some famous Japanese chefs who do like expensive sushi restaurants.
Then sometimes they're not the real sushi like the Japanese ones.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time they will have kind of those weird sushi rolls, not real sushi rolls that would be, I think, very strange to Japanese people. Yeah, if the listeners want to look it up, like look up like dragon roll or I don't know, American sushi rolls and see what comes up on Google Images because they some of them look pretty crazy.
Yeah, but I've seen them before in movies or something. This kind of roll stuff.
Yeah.
一回ちょっと訳しましょうかね。皆さんも今、look it up ってね、look it up、で、ライリーが言ってくれてましたが、アメリカ独特のそのお寿司の形とかお寿司っていうのがあると。で、一つが、まあ、カリフォルニアロールだったり、Dragon Roll, you said? ドラゴン
Yeah.
ロール。それはちょっと僕も聞いたことなかったんですけど、それで調べてみてねっていうのを言ってました。でも見たら、ああ、わかるわかる。なんか映画とかによく出てくるやつだっていう。で、さっきライリーが言ってくれてたのが、サーモンとかツナとかを上に乗せて、あと、唐辛子 Is it hot pepper? Red pepper?
Something spicy might be like just a sauce. I'm not sure, but I think the dragon part is because there's a spicy ingredient.
Oh, this dragon part means spicy stuff.
I think so, right?
あ
Dragons because I don't know, dragons breathe fire, right? So
あー、そういうことね。なんでドラゴンなんやろうと思ったら、火を吹く。つまりそこからスパイシーっていうところから、カリフォルニアロールとか皆さんドラゴンロールで調べてみてください。周りが赤いんですよね。それがやっぱちょっと辛いソースが塗られていて、こういう、elaborate っても言ってましたね。こう手の込んだ、ちょっと工夫されたアメリカならではのお寿司が結構アメリカでは主流だと。なので、さっきもともとはアメリカでのお寿司屋さんってどんな感じなのっていうところからこの回答になったので、結構日本のその僕たちが思ってるお寿司の形と、アメリカでのお寿司の形は結構違うんでしょうね。っていうのが、ここまでのお話ですね。で、なんか人的にもさ、例えば日本とかだったら、お寿司屋さんって独特ななんか雰囲気があるんよね。例えば、いらっしゃいみたいな。Have you tried it? いらっしゃいませじゃなくて、はいいらっしゃいいらっしゃいみたいな感じで、で、
I've
握る
heard
や
it, yeah.
ん。そう。で、お寿司をこう、パッパッパッって偏見やけどね、僕そういういいお寿司屋さん行ったことないから、勝手な偏見なんやけど、パッパッパッって握って、はい、ちょまえ、ちょまえとは言わんか。はい、ちょはい、サーモンみたいな感じで、こう、どんどん出してくれるっていう。So, do you know the, special atmosphere of Japanese, especially expensive sushi restaurants?
Uh, I only like the kind of stereotype. I've never been to a very expensive sushi restaurant.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I want to say quickly that I was wrong about the fish on a dragon roll, but it's shrimp, not tuna or salmon. But it is usually spicy with sriracha. Do you
What's
know what
that?
that is? It's like a spicy hot sauce, I think from maybe Thailand, maybe Vietnam. I'm not sure, but it's very
Um,
popular in America. So they put this kind of spicy sauce on the uh, sushi roll.
Sriracha?
Yeah, I can put that in the notes.
Oh,
S
thank you.
R I. Yeah.
うーん、なるほど。ライリーが、さっき、ドラゴンロールのちょっとネタでちょっと間違いがありましたと、絶対エビとかサーモンとかツナっていうわけじゃないんですけど、中身はいろいろあって、とにかくそのタイとかベトナムのそっち系の、ソース、スリラッチャーみたいな、これ、インスタグラム、台本なし英会話レッスンの単語リストにスペル載せておきますので、アメリカではその、辛いソースが一般的らしいですね。Then, I want to focus on the conveyor belt sushi restaurants.
Okay.
So, after coming to Japan, maybe I think you went to those places a lot. Then, did you find any differences between the Japanese conveyor belt sushi restaurants and the sushi shops in the States?
Yeah, I think actually, so I think the first one I went to was not really like a chain, or at least not a big chain. And so they didn't have like the tablet to order, like the electronic order.
Mhm.
You had to like use paper and write like in the box. And so when I first came, that was really difficult for me because I don't know, it's just a new way to order for me,
Mhm.
was to use like to write on the paper and then hand it to the person behind the counter,
Mhm.
or the waiter, or whatever you say. Um, and then of course the sushi is different too. Like I said, in America, nigiri is not as common, and especially there's not so many kinds of fish,
Mhm.
right? Like in America, there's probably, I don't know, tuna, salmon, shrimp, maybe eel, like unagi, but
Mhm.
nowhere near as many as in a Japanese sushi restaurant.
So you prefer the Japanese style
Yeah, I do. I do.
because there are many kinds.
Y- yeah, I guess also because I think the fish tastes better
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah.
うーん。なるほど。まずちょっと訳しましょうか。なんとか taste good。この場合の taste は動詞として使われてますね。It tastes good。あるいは they taste good。なので、日本のやっぱりお寿司の方が they taste better。美味しいと。なので、強いて選ぶならば、やっぱり日本のその回転寿司のお寿司の方が好きだと。で、もう一個の理由が、お寿司のネタもやっぱり日本って多いみたいですね。アメリカだともう定番のもの、何個かと、さっきのなんとかロールみたいなやつと、 あと、らっしゃいとも言わないし、まあ、日本でも回転寿司ではらっしゃいとは言わへんけど、まあまあ、そういう感じで、日本の、回転寿司屋さんの方がすごく、ライリー好みではあると。あとは、日本に来た当初は、紙にそのお寿司のネタを書いて、で、店員さんに渡して、で、the sushi come on the conveyor belt?
In America.
Oh, I mean, in Japan, like you wrote the neta on the paper and you hand it.
Yeah. And then it came on the conveyor belt.
They, oh, what's the name of the restaurant?
So I don't remember. This was 6 years ago, and I don't think it was like a big chain. It
Oh,
might have been.
really?
Was in
うん
Okayama. I don't remember the name though.
僕それやったことないわ。書いて、で、そのネタがコンベアベルトで流れてくる、回転寿司で流れてくるみたいなのは、そう、経験したことがないんですけど、大ちゃんが初めて行った、回転寿司屋さんって、そういう感じらしいですね。やっぱり日本で有名なのは、やっぱスシローとか、くら寿司とか、まあ、かっぱ寿司とか、Do you know them?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Kappa-zushi. We have kurazushi, sushiro, and hamazushi.
うんうん
Do you have? I don't know.
うんうんう
But
ん
yeah, those are the big ones for sure.
Okay. なるほどね。Oh, and maybe the biggest thing we should talk about in this episode is how attractive or how amazing the restaurants are. So, can you make a brief presentation about the conveyor belt sushi restaurants in Japan? Like, what are attracting you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, it's kind of amazing to see all of this fish, all this sushi like moving around the restaurant on these conveyor belts. That's really cool. And it's really like it's kind of fast food, right? Like it's very
Mm,
easy to go in, order what you want, eat quickly, and then like leave. It's I think that's like a big thing that I like about it is it's very easy to just go and eat quickly.
mm. And generally Americans or Western people, like those people from other countries, love the restaurants for that reason.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's some like the kind of novelty of seeing the conveyor belts like food moving around the restaurant. That's new for most people. Um and yeah, I also think it's just like of course if you come to Japan you should eat sushi and uh kurazushi sushiro are everywhere. So I think a lot of people go to
う
those
ん
places.
なるほど。ノーベルティっていうのもね、打ってもらおうかなと思うんですけど、なんだろう、目新しさみたいなね、すごい新鮮な、目新しいっていう風に、やっぱり外国人からすると感じるみたいですね。で、まあ、今回のね、やっぱタイトルが、回転寿司の魅力っていうところなので、彼ら外国人にとってどう見えるのかっていう。で、まずは、お寿司が動いてるっていうところがやっぱすごいってなるみたいですね。あとはネタがね、やっぱりたくさんあって、で、今言われて確かにと思ったのが、ファストフードみたいだと。すごいパッと食べれて、すぐ出てくるっていうね。ファストフードと聞いたら僕たちはやっぱりマクドとか、吉野家とかああいうイメージありますけど、お寿司も彼らからするとファストフードっていう、もうパッて食べれて、しかもそれが美味しくてっていうね、そういう感覚なんだっていうのが、面白いなと思いました。なので、それだけやっぱりね、回転寿司って日本人にとっても好きな場所ですし、外国人にとってもね、すごいいい場所なんだろうなと思うんですけど、もう一個ね、ここから僕知りたいなと思うのが、I want to talk about manners in those
Oh,
restaurants.
yeah, okay.
So, mm, what are you caring about? Or can you find any manners in there?
Yeah, what am I careful about? Well,
うん。
of course, like, you can't you can't take someone else's sushi. Like maybe when I first went, it took me probably somebody had to tell me that like when the plates are they have like what do you call it? They have like a different color, right? Or
うんう
that they have
ん。
like that plastic thing.
Yeah.
And that means that somebody else ordered it. It's not for anybody.
うん
That one is like that's a big manner, I guess, that you shouldn't steal someone else's food. But, if you can't speak Japanese, you can't read Japanese, you might not know that that's what that means, right? You might just see, oh, it's on the conveyor belt, so I can take it, and you might take somebody else's food. But yeah, that's a big one.
Does that
Um,
happen?
I think it must happen. I think if you come to Japan and you don't have like a Japanese person with you or someone who can read Japanese, I think it might be not so obvious that
Mm.
those maybe they say English. I'm not sure, but even so, I think it's not so obvious to a foreigner that means
Yeah,
you can't take it.
that's right. Anything else? Any other manners?
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess obviously like you don't want to uh like breathe on the food that's going around or something like that. You kind of want to I guess stay away from it until you take something.
Mm. Yeah, and also when we were younger, there were no systems like that. There were, but not that common like now. So in the past, we always took the sushi on the conveyor belt. So, we didn't order that much
Oh,
like
right.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like kind of what do you call that? Like whatever was on the conveyor belt is what you could eat. You couldn't order something new.
Yeah. Because when I was a kid, I had to like press the button and it's beeping, and then somebody responds, answers the
Mm.
call. And then I say, uh, ハマチ2つ、サーモン2つ、ネギトロなんとか2つ、納豆2つ. And then the person responds.
Okay.
So it was too much trouble. So a lot of people, directly took the sushi on the conveyor belt. So at the time, we were often told that we shouldn't put them back after taking them once.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like even just touching a little bit, we should definitely take it. So, for
Right.
example, oh, it's coming, and oh, I want to eat it, but oh, on second thought, I don't want to eat it. Then, some people sometimes put it back,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Right. Yeah. You have to take it.
Yeah, once we touch the plate.
Sure.
But, some people sometimes do that, like put them back or yeah, so everything is on people's responsibilities or manners. That's the
Sure.
difficult part.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's true.
So next, I want to ask you, like, would it work in the States? Like everything is on people's responsibilities or, manners or something. That's what I want to ask you next.
Yeah, that's a
But
good question.
yeah, I will translate first.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Japanese. そう、ここまでをまずは一回訳したいんですけど、そのマナーについてね、今話してました。で、ライリーが日本のその回転寿司屋さんに来て気づいたことがあるマナーって何ですかっていう質問に対して答えてくれたのが、人が頼んだお寿司のネタを取っちゃいけないっていう。で、確かに言われてみたら外国人の人からすると、お寿司流れてきてると思ったら取りたくなりますよね。で、席によって番号とか色が振られていて、で、その同じ色のやつしか取っちゃダメっていうのって、暗黙の了解ですけど、知らない外国人からすると取っちゃうよねって今話聞いてて思いました。で、やっぱりライリーも最初はそこのシステムにね、困惑すると。で、外国人の方が来られてもやっぱりそこは困惑するシステムなようですね。なので僕たちが外国人の方がそういうふうにね、取っちゃってるのを見たとしても、ちょっと多めに見てあげるというか、そりゃ気づかないよなっていうところをね、こう念頭に置いてあげることは大事なんじゃないかなって今聞いてて思いました。で、他にも思ったのが、ちょっとでもお皿に触ったらもう戻しちゃいけないっていうルールもすごくあるなって思います。まあ当たり前のことではあるんですけど、でもよく昔はね、僕が小さい時って今みたいにこう注文制じゃなかったり、注文しても電話で注文するシステムだったの皆さん覚えてません？こうボタンピンポンって押して誰かが出てハマチ2個なんとかって言ってでたまに聞き返されて で、それが流れてくるっていう。それが結構手間だったので、みんな普通に流れてきてるものを取る。あんま注文して取るっていう感じじゃなかったと思うんですよね。だからこそ昔はよく教えられたのは、もう一回取ったら戻しちゃダメっていうルール。でもそれをちょっと守ってなくて、戻しちゃったり、触っちゃったり、それが今回の日本でちょっと炎上しちゃってる、触ってるのに戻してるとか、醤油のボトルをね、こう、ちょっと汚い風に触っちゃったり、あとは、お茶を飲むコップもね、人のもう倫理観に任されて置いてあるもの。だからこそ、こう、マナーが必要だったりする。そこのなんか境目でね、今回炎上してしまったのもあるんじゃないかなと思うんですけど、これが、マナーですね。回転寿司の。で、そこで僕、もう一個ライリーに聞きたいなと思ったのが、これってアメリカとかで、この日本と同じシステムの回転寿司になった時に、なんだろう、こう、全部が人の倫理観に任される状況で、アメリカでこれって機能するのかなって思うんですよね。日本人って結構暗黙の了解で空気読む感覚ってあると思うんですけど、海外だとこれってどうなんだろうっていうのをちょっと聞きたいなって思ってます。So, my next question is, as I said, would it work in the States? What do you think?
Like my feeling is that it would be a little bit difficult to have everyone kind of follow the rules and
Mm,
mm, you know not put back plates after they touched it or something like that. Or also like the way that you pay
mm,
is right, they come to your table and count the plates.
mm,
But if you just take sushi off the plate and don't take the plate, then like no, it's hard to tell who did it, maybe.
mm, mm,
So I don't know. I think maybe more people would steal or
mm.
something like that. I don't know. It's there's a lot of kind of what can you say? Like, do you the honor system? Have you heard that
Mm,
before?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Honor system. And your all English episode of gyms reminded me of this discussion because you were talking about the machines or equipments. Like in
yeah,
Japan, people put them back after they use them.
yeah.
And
Like all the time, always.
right, but in the States, they leave the machines or equipments. That's
Yeah,
what you said.
sometimes. I mean, no, it's not like everybody does that, but it's more common in America to kind of leave them. It's more.
Uh-huh.
How can I say? It's almost like it's more acceptable, even
Mm-hmm.
though you're supposed to put them back. In America, it's like more okay to not do it
Oh,
or
yeah, yeah.
something.
There's
Yeah.
not such a rule like Japan. That's the point.
Yeah, or at least there's not so much like pressure to follow that rule. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not only about the sushi on the conveyor belt, like at Japanese sushi restaurants, for example, there is wasabi, shoga, and tea powder, and
mm,
everything is,
kind of free, right?
yeah, yeah, and chopsticks or soy sauce as well. So,
Yeah.
I always wonder, like, you know, if it works, not only about sushi restaurants, like, I don't know, for example, at restaurants, people leave computers when they go to a bathroom while they're working there,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But people never steal in Japan. But
Yeah, or
mm,
rarely, right? Yeah, very rarely.
right. So, can you, explain or introduce, or can you talk about the differences related to the honor system? How do you feel?
Yeah, so I mean, in America, we have some things that run on the honor system, like in the countryside, some farmers will put out like apples or some kind of food for people to buy, but you just have to put some money in like a box or something because there's
Mhm,
nobody there selling it. I think you have that in Japan in the countryside too.
mhm.
But that kind of thing would be crazy in a city in America. Like nobody would do that because people would just steal.
Really?
Um, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Uh,
oh, recently actually, maybe kind of related to conveyor belt sushi. Recently in Kagawa, there have been these like gyoza shops
う
that
ん。
sell frozen gyoza, but there's nobody inside,
うん。
and there's just a box to pay. And so like, or maybe yeah, I think there's just a box for cash. I don't, maybe there's something electronic for credit cards. I'm not sure, but basically you take a bag of frozen gyoza and then you pay whatever money it says to pay and then you leave.
うん。
In America, those would be in a big city in America, those would be gone in 1 hour. Like it would be so fast that the whole store would have nothing in it. Yeah.
Like, but of course, a lot of people think that's not really good, right?
Of course, yeah, of
うん。
course.
But why do those people do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe we talked about it with the gym a little bit where
うん。
like there's like this pressure to follow the rules and people like kind of listen to that pressure. They feel that pressure. But I think in America there are some people who don't feel like they have to care about what other people think or something like that.
う
They're
ん。
not concerned with the rules or the social pressure
う
in the
ん。
same way. I guess. I mean, also there might be a lot of reasons, but maybe that's one of them.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I
う
agree. I think
ん。
it's nice to be able to like trust people, like it's nice that you can have this kind of convenient 24-hour shop to buy gyoza, or it's nice to be able to just take sushi from the conveyor belt without having to worry about people stealing or being dirty or something like that.
うん。Then
It's
in that way, in Japan, it's amazing for us to be able to, go to sushi restaurants like that. And then it's amazing that it's working actually.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But, gradually, or not gradually though, sometimes, those problems happen, like the timely topic,
Right,
timely
right.
incident. So, yeah, I want to, make it happen. I mean, like, I want to treasure this Japanese beautiful culture, like honor system or something. Um, right? It's hard to explain, but
Yeah, I think
mm,
it is kind of special. And like yeah, other places have it. Like in the countryside in America, it's more kind of like that kind of honor system. It's more trust, high trust. You know that you can trust other people.
mm,
And, yeah, in lots of places they have it, but
mm,
it's definitely nice that Japan has it too and has it a
う
lot.
ん。ですね。まあそろそろ締めくくりに入りたいなと思うんですけど、Honor System、これをライちゃんに打っておいてもらおうと思うんですけど、人の倫理観に、もう託されているようなシステムですね。ちょっと綺麗な日本語が浮かばないんですけど、なので、まあ結論から言うと、その日本で、この人のね、もうマナーによって成り立ってるいろんなシステムっていうものが、海外でも成り立つのか成り立たないのかっていう質問に対して、やっぱりライちゃんが、いや、アメリカとかだと、特に大きなシティとかだともう成り立たないと。で、その例として、例えば田舎だとまだね、リンゴ、ファーマー、農家の人がリンゴを箱に入れて、で、お金とともに交換で持ってってくださいっていうのがまだいけたとしても、大きなシティとかだとみんな取っていくと、お金を置いていかないと。で、今、香川とかのお話で餃子、大阪も結構あるんですけど、餃子とかお肉とかが冷凍されてる形でお店に置かれていて、で、無人で、取りたい人は取ってお金を入れていく。でも多分、なんでしょうね、なんかお金入れないと扉が開かないシステムとかはあるとは思うんですけど、まあそういう盗んだりはしないですよね。みんなお金を払って、無人のお店でもちゃんと商品をね、お金とともに交換しますけど、やっぱアメリカだとあんなの絶対ありえないと、もう1時間で絶対なくなっちゃうと。それだけやっぱり人の倫理観で任されるその経営のシステムっていうのが、日本ではやっぱり成り立つのに対して、アメリカとかだとやっぱり成り立ちにくいと。で、まあなんでそういう盗もうとかっていう気持ちになるのっていう質問に対して、 こう人がどう思うかとかっていうところにやっぱりこうそれほど気にしない人たちも多いのが事実と。でもそれと同時にみんながみんな盗むわけじゃないので、アメリカでもライちゃんのようにそれがおかしいと思う人もいますし、それを聞けてちょっと安心しました。アメリカってそんな場所なのと思うと、なんか同じ人間として悲しいなと思っちゃうんですけど、ちゃんとそれをおかしいと思っている人たちもいるんだけれども、やっぱりそれを気にしない人たちもたくさんいると。で、もともとなんでこのお話になったのかっていうと、ライちゃんがね、先週載せてくれたオールイングリッシュのジムのエピソードで、日本では結構周りからのそのプレッシャーとか空気を読み取って、使ったマシンとかを結構元に戻さなきゃとかっていうのを感じ取る。それがゆえ、ちゃんと戻す人たちが多いのに対して、アメリカではあんまりそれを絶対やらなきゃいけないっていうルールじゃないからこそでもあると思うんですけど、使ったらもうそのまま置いておくっていう、それが結構受け入れられやすい文化だっていうお話があって、そこからこのお寿司とかの人の倫理観に任されるシステムってアメリカではどうなるんだろうっていうのを聞きたくてこの質問をしてたんですよね。つまりまとめとしてはやっぱり、日本のこの倫理観に任される経営システムがなくならないように一人一人がやっぱり心がけてマナーを守りながらやっていきたいなって思いますよね。じゃないと日本のいい文化がいろんなところでなくなっちゃうなと思うので、ね、今後もその習慣が長く続いたら嬉しいなと個人的には思います。では皆さん今日のエピソードはい
かがでしたでしょうか？
いかがでしたでしょうか？ハッシュタグクエスチョンをね、また再開したいなと思うんですけれども、So the hashtag question would be、what are the amazing points of conveyor belt sushi restaurants in Japan?
Sure,
What do you
or-
think? What do you think?
Yeah, something like, or maybe you could say like, what's your favorite example of the honor system in Japan?
それがいい。それにしよう。Can you say that again?
Yeah, what's your favorite example of the honor system in Japan?
それにしましょう。めっちゃいい質問だ。ツイッターでハッシュタグ台本なし英会話レッスンというものをつけて投稿していただくとまとめてその回答が全部見れるので、そうするとリアクションとかもしに行きやすいので、それをつけて回答してください。で、質問が日本のその倫理観に任されて経営されているシステム、honor システムのすごいこういい例、例えば日本のこういうお店のこういうところが倫理観に任されてるけれどもこういうところがすごいと思うっていう僕たちが、ちゃんとその守れている What's your favorite example of honor system in Japan? いい例っていうものをね、なんか日本語難しいんですけどこう、すごい日本のこのオーナーシステムすごいよな、海外だったらこれ絶対できないよなっていうようないい例っていうものがあればぜひ投稿して共有してください。昔はよくねこのハッシュタグクエスチョンやって回答してもらってたんですけど、最近それやるのちょっと漏れてたなと思うので、その分ちょっとコメントとか皆さんからのリアクションが減っちゃうなと思ったので、ちゃんと交流していきたいなと思ったのでぜひ載せてください。あるいはインスタグラム台本なし英会話レッスンのコメント欄にその回答を打ち込んでいただく形でも構いません。 So how was the episode for today, Reilly?
Yeah, I liked it. I like talking about it. I can say that I'm more interested in conveyor belt sushi than I am in point cards. So
Yes, so it was easier to talk about the restaurants for me.
I might actually go get some sushi right now. It's like lunchtime.
And the point cards of such restaurants if they have.
maybe. Probably not.
そうですね。ポイントカードよりは話しやすかったってライリーが言ってました。今回のエピソードも皆さん楽しんでいただけてると嬉しいなと思います。僕は英語のソータという名前で、Instagram、Twitter、YouTube 全部出てきます。ライリーは Reilly Sullivan XD で出てきますのでぜひ調べてみてください。では、お寿司を食べましょう。楽しみましょう。寿司食べるのを。では、また次回のエピソードでお会いしましょう。バイ。
Bye.